Sam, you're not going to believe what I found. It's about the BB experiments, their true purpose. According to official records, they were continued in secret on the order of President Strand, supposedly with the primary objective of developing PT detectors and preventing void-outs. Any advancements that could be applied to the fields of chiral communications and beach research were meant to be of purely secondary benefit. But it turns out, that's just a cover story. The truth is, Sam, BBs were originally conceived as catalysts for the operation of the chiral network. They're integrated into the infrastructure of Knot cities for that very reason. Every single one you've brought into the fold. It was probably Amelie herself who installed them as she moved west with the first expedition, carrying out her mother's grand plan, making sacrifice after sacrifice on the altar of progress. President Strand told the people what they wanted to hear and did what she thought had to be done. Also, America could be whole again. But I'm starting to wonder if it didn't cost her soul. The chiral network is our greatest creation, our proudest achievement, and our guiltiest sin. I don't know how to feel about it all. Maybe if we knew more about Cliff and the BB experiments, we'd be better placed to judge. I'll be in touch.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that is very interesting. I'm trying to... The way you said they're a catalyst for the chiral network. Basically, regardless of the technology or the logistics of how it happens and whatnot, I take that to mean as BBs were basically sacrificed in order to help build the chiral network. And obviously that's something that's not cool. So I think the more we find out about these experiments and whatnot, then I guess we decide whether it was ultimately what we deem to be a necessary sacrifice, or whether, like Deadman said, they lost their soul along the way. But I'm reserving judgment, like he said, until I find out more about what was going on. Just make it to the top. Is that a bird in the distance? No. For a second it just looked like a single bird in the distance. I thought, oh, that looks really cool. How are we doing? Okay, we're almost there. Oh, we're actually by Mama's lab. There we go, got some stamina back. And we're ready to go. Yeah, so a bit of an unorthodox way to get here, but I think we did take a pretty significant shortcut to make it here. I've had like 50 hours to enjoy the trekking, the world, the exploration, the online elements, construction, vehicles, all of that kind of stuff. BTs, BBs, BT monsters, distro centers, deliveries, all of that kind of stuff. So for me, especially after I was done with Higgs, I was just like, get me to that finale. I need to see what is going on.
Verifying ID. Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons welcome to South Knot City. Proceed to distribution center.
Alright, it's been a long time since we came here. And there's no signs here?
Someone's out here.
Decontaminating suit. All clear. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges.
Oh, there's one of mine from a long time ago, 386. That's not bad. Right, so what is this thing that I can pick up here? Well, I could... Oh! Frick! 3,000... Okay. How the hell does that work? Okay. I'll try and load up as many as I can. That's pretty funny. That's a crazy delivery. 5,000 likes. So I can make trucks. I guess I can make 2 trucks and try and bring them along because I've got the roads now. I feel like surely I can get it done. I thought I made a level 3 one. Anyway, that's good enough. Right, metals 1000, load onto vehicle. Let's see how many we can get onto one vehicle. Okay, well, I mean, if you can do that, then that's absolutely fine. Alright, let's roll. That truck can carry a lot. Wow. So, in case we have another BT situation, I think I'm gonna just replenish some of my stuff here. I don't know what my blood bag situation and such is like. Okay. We are ready to go. Let's go to Lake Knot City.
Thank you for your contribution.
With our fully loaded truck. This truck is like everything. Why can't I use it? What? Damn it. Okay, hold on. But then why would you even let me load it on? That's just stupid. So let's try and split it up to 2 trucks. Okay, so we'll have to kind of move them along 500 by 500. This will be quite a funny delivery. Because if you go too far away from some of them, then you won't be able to do it. So do that. So we're going to make a double truck delivery here. It's unorthodox, but just in case the truck that I fabricate ends up crushing some of these when it appears, I'm going to move them. I don't even know why I'm wasting time on this, but seeing a 2,500 kilogram delivery it got me excited. I've not made a delivery like that. I think I made a 600. That's been my biggest one so far. But to have a 2.5 ton delivery, I think is kind of cool. At least I can say I've got one of those on my resume before finishing the game. Okay. Let's get that second truck made. Or brought out from the garage, whatever. They're probably better ones than mine. No? They're just normal ones. Okay. I'll fabricate a long range. No! What don't I have enough of? It's metals I don't have enough of. Nah, I'll just get the one from the garage then. Once I get on the road, then it's a done deal anyway. They don't appear here. Come on, man. The not carried should appear here. Okay. So I'm going to monkey around a little bit more and bring these back. Let's start with this and try and get to the first stretch of road.
Have a pleasant journey.
I have to be careful and make sure I don't go too far.
Have a pleasant journey. Weapons restrictions lifted.
It's already 277 meters, so got to be careful. So now we have to play this kind of silly game of backwards and forwards, but I don't really see how else you can do it. I might change to a speed skeleton actually for the first time in the game. I'm not sure how like crazy fast you can go with one of those. I'm imagining like it would be nice if you could use your strand to tow other machines. So you could use one truck to tow the other. That would have been super cool. So don't crash into my own truck. Now, got a nasty gap here. Once I get here, I think it's... I was going to say, once I get there, I think it's smooth sailing, but it's not quite. Online bridge, that's good. I think I've got to try and shoot for this bridge. It's 506 meters away, so I think I'll be alright. And I doubt these roads are close enough to completion to make it worth it. It's 800 and 600, yeah, it's not going to happen. So this is the route I remember once I go back over this. Well, okay, easy. Yeah, so we have another pointless bridge situation. The 64,000. You build a bridge and you automatically get lights. I think the bridge thing is a bit bullshit. Look at that Dansg08 Timefall shelter coming in clutch. Right there. Okay. Now we just got to run back. The power of editing is going to definitely make a big difference here. I mean, he still sprints really well without the speed skeleton, so I can only imagine how fast that is. To be honest, part of me does kind of want to use these ceramics and stuff to build pretty much the rest of the roads back, but because it's near the end of the game, I don't mind. I'm sure there'll be deliveries like that if I wanted to play once I was done with the story. At least that leaves me something to do if I ever want to return to the world of Death Stranding. Okay, so we'll leave that truck there and seek out the way across. From here. Right. So these should be my ones, I think, and then we've got this bridge. Alright, I don't think we're doing too badly here. Oh god. There we go. Yeah, there's mine. Gonna have to push this this bike out of the way. Almost got 1,000 lights for that. It's nice to see some of the stuff I built all that time ago. Let's push that shit out the way. Right. Can we not get charged now? Come on. There we go. Okay, so that's another pit stop. The rain's falling hard though, man. Thankfully we haven't encountered any BTs, that was the important part. Otherwise it was going to be a pain in the arse trying to do this with 2 trucks. Plus BTs. So being able to charge them up there is going to be helpful as well. I'm liking my chances of making this epic delivery. I wonder what the biggest possible delivery is that you can make in this game. Like the biggest order. So retrace my tracks. And I went straight over this. At least I tried. Yep. Now, just need to double check which way is best. Can't really tell the orientation. I mean, I would imagine that that's a good bridge to use. Let me just quickly charge up here. That's good enough. This bridge is a good one. That deserves my appreciation. Okay. Excellent. Just gotta make sure I don't get too excited. How far away? 181. That's fine. Nice little timefall shelter pit stop here as well. You know I love those. Booty poppers. Fantastic. This timefall shell's gonna like.
Anybody hear me?
But of course, you know, this one's didn't work. There is that bit that I remember looking really picturesque when I was on the road. Now with the Aurora as well, it's probably gonna look super cool. Try and get a screenshot of that or something. It's not been as bad as I thought, to be honest. Now that I'm on the road, it should be the easiest section. I think there's a break in the road, but it's not terrible. I think it's definitely makeable. So hopefully we'll get there. The timefall shelters along the way have definitely helped as well, otherwise these trucks would have taken a battering. But now that we're back on non-mountainous terrain, the boots are lasting so much longer now. Okay, now we can push beyond. Chill there. So the final challenge will be to make it back onto the next piece of road. And that could prove to be a little bit difficult because I don't think I have a good way to get across. I'm a bridge short. That looks pretty treacherous to me. But okay, not as treacherous as I thought. That's a good sign. And it means that we can make it here. Excellent. Alright, let's make some progress. Perfect. Superb.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges.
Alright, I can leave this here.
Okay.
Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked.
And then from here I think there's road all the way back to Lake Mott City.
Sam for the bridge. Weapons restrictions.
So we're pretty much done. Yeah, go. You throw caution to the wind, you can pretty much get over almost any terrain. Except for that. Alright, we've had our fun with that. save me maybe 30 seconds. Alright, here we go.
Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked.
Okay, it's very foggy here, but I'm pretty sure since the roads are here I should be fine. I've never seen BTs on these roads before, so I think I'm feeling confident I should be fine. Just gotta make sure I don't overshoot. 252. Pretty much as far as I'd like to go. We'll wait here. I'll probably build a timefall shelter somewhere around here.
Construction complete.
Yeah, that's basically good enough. Is all my stuff replenished? I think it is. Alright, let's go. They left a motorbike here as well, so I can get back even quicker. Perfect. I'm liking this, man. Woohoo! Whoa, whoa. Why can't you turn and... I swear we could turn before. I think when you're boosting at the same time, then it's a bit... I was trying to get a screenshot for a thumbnail there, there's about 27 different messages.
Beginning scan.
Just give it a little hit.
Clear. Weapons detected.
I mean, we've punched the truck enough times, why not also bash it with a motorbike? So this thing is dying. Got to be careful. How much do we have? Ooh, 32%. Okay. If it wasn't for that distance problem, it'd be fine, but I could have driven it straight home. We'll be within about 1 kilometer once I'm done with it, and he'll have to do a final run after that, so it should be okay. And I can build another timefall shelter when I want to drop this one off, so I think it should be okay. Yeah, it's so foggy that you don't get to enjoy the sights that you would have before. They've gone for atmosphere over aesthetics this time.
Hey Sam, I see you're coming up on Lake Knot. Stay strong. We're all rooting for you to finish the job and come home safe. By the way, I've made more progress in a certain investigation. It seems that Clifford Unger willingly put his own child in the care of the scientists conducting the BP experiments.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
But he did so completely unaware of their true intentions. This is pure speculation, but I think when Cliff found out about their plans, he attempted to reclaim custody. And after he failed, the BB remained in the program's care. In which case, he would have every reason to bear a grudge towards the president, the woman who allowed it all to happen, don't you think? But just because President Strand is dead, doesn't mean his hate died with her. No, I think he redirected it towards Bridges. Towards you and Amelie and anyone close to the director. And now that hate is driving him to set in motion the last Stranding, to bring an end to the world as we know it. Why else would Cliff hold Amelie hostage on the beach? He must know that she's an EE. There's no time to lose. You have to save her and the director. Though I still don't understand how he managed to travel to her beach in the first place.
Exactly.
There must be more to their relationship. I'll see what I can find.
Yeah, exactly. That was one of the questions I had further back. But I mean, if this entire thing boils down to one person who was tricked by his government into basically losing his kid, if that's the catalyst for him wanting to bring about an extinction to the entirety of humanity, that's one of them things where I'm like, yeah, okay, it's a little bit of a stretch. Because like, I mean, everyone's got those kind of relationships with people. Everyone's filled with hate about something and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like surely there's got to be a grander design than this guy is so hateful towards the government over losing his kid to them that he wants to bring about extinction. Like, that's the American government and President Strand wanting to do those kind of experiments. Why would you want to bring about an extinction event? I mean, that's a bit mad. Now, that truck is going to be in big danger because I didn't realize there's no land here, so that truck may or may not be there when I get back. 22%. It's very close. Gotta move. Because like I say, I mean, wanting revenge against like a government, like an individual, a government, all that kind of stuff, yes, that's way more like understandable, but I don't think people are really able to fathom how ridiculous an extinction event actually is. We're talking about legit extinction. Like, everything that's ever been living is going to be wiped out. So that includes every single animal, every single plant, every single everything. And that's what this guy wants, because he gave his baby to the BB experiments and they lied to him about what they're actually going to do there. Like, for real? I don't know.
Okay.
I hope I'm never in a situation where I love something enough that if it's taken away from me, I want to bring about an extinction. I don't think that's very healthy, man. I need to find a timeful shelter or something for this baby. It's just constant timefall everywhere, all the time. How close are we? 885. Okay. There's a timefall shelter here. I need to get to that before it gets destroyed. I feel like the truck's going to get destroyed literally like 100 meters before I get to Lake Knot. Alright, just make it. Yeah, try to like again, failed as usual. I think that's good enough. If it's going to survive, it'll survive. %. This is still 48%. I think this will be okay. Let's try and get this one home. Okay, this should be the battered one. Yeah. Alright, go. Alright, the final run. There's a supercell there. Surprised? I'm not. I don't even know if I'm going to get to hand this in. I feel like, because it's like a storyline thing going on, they might not even let me do that. 248. Ah, shit. There's another.
Got a moment, Sam? It's about the director. So there's no way he could have made the jump to Amelie's Beach if they didn't share a strong personal connection, right?
They were lovers.
Well, I looked, and I couldn't see one. The network should have contained something, anything, but there was nothing whatsoever.
But that's also suspect.
His entire life prior to his tenure with Bridges has been redacted. His name, his past, everything. There's no telling who he was. Which led me to consider another possibility. What if it isn't the director and Amelie who have a connection, but the director and Clifford Unger? And what if that connection is what facilitated the director's jump to Amelie's Beach? If it's those two who have a personal history, then it might explain why Cliff is holding the director hostage as well. But even if that were the case, it doesn't answer the bigger question. How the hell did the two of them end up on Amelie's Beach?
Yep.
Sam, Hartman here. There's something else I'd like you to consider. A guess, albeit an educated one, concerning Cliff's objective. Somehow, with the aid of the chiral network, our individual beaches have begun to coalesce, resulting in the formation of a single massive seam. Should this process continue, there is a risk that BTs will flood across into our world, bringing about a death stranding on a heretofore unprecedented scale. Now, Clifford Unger's battlefields and my own beach appear to be unaffected by this phenomenon, existing entirely in isolation.
Why?
They do not and have never intersected with others. But what if there were another class of beach, one that exists on a higher plane, that was responsible for setting this process in motion? And what if the beach in question were none other than Amelie's? Cliff may have summoned the director, but I believe his true aim was to seize control of Amelie's Beach, to exploit its power over every other beach, and trigger the last stranding. It's the only rational explanation for Cliff's actions, which is why you have to stop him.
If Hartman's right, then we're in serious trouble. Using the chiral network in Amelie's Beach to trigger the last stranding? That's why Higgs went after Amelie, wasn't it? If it was Cliff who put him up to it. Yeah, it all fits. With the last stranding, he'll finally have his revenge against the world that stole his life and his child. You've got to stop him, Sam. You've got to make the jump to Amelie's Beach as soon as possible. Get in and get her back. It's our only hope. If you can't, then we're all doomed.
Okay, alright. Yeah, like I said, I mean, I feel like surely there's got to be a bit more to it than that, man. Literally, in this story, we have multiple people who lost their wives and kids. And Clifford Unger is the one that wants to bring about an extinction event. I consider myself as having made that delivery, though.